flow, where your deepest heart's desires become reality. At Set to Love, we offer strategies and ideas on how you can stay out of crazy town. See, your human experience is meant to be lived with meaning, purpose, and creativity. You are here to contribute through your essence. We are best friends, moms, entrepreneurs, and above all, find our flow in assisting you to find yours. We come together weekday mornings to bring you ideas to fall deeper in love with your life and the journey that you are on. Take what works and ditch the rest, and always stay set to love. Thank you for being a part of this community. We're all designed to live in flow. So let's go. Discovering your purpose, healing from trauma. Welcome to another episode of Set to Love. I am one of your hosts, Eva Payne, along with my best friend, Shelley. And I'm so excited for today. We have a really, really special guest with us. And her name is Shelley also. Here she is.
Yay.
Shelley
Good morning,
Henk.
Shelley.
It looks like Hank, but it's rhymes with pink.
That's right.
Welcome. Shelley is a life. Oh, that is Big Eva. Let's put Big Shelley over there. There we go. Yay. Shelley's a life coach. She's an artist. She's a nurse. And we were talking before we went live. Wow. So much good information. So I just want to sit back, put my seatbelt on, and say welcome to the show. My Shelley, do you want to say hi to this Shelley?
Yes. Hi, Shelley. You was really getting to know you this morning was really great. I'm so excited to hear the things you have to say. And you are an EY, so you're part of the Shelley Club. So I think we're special. I'm going to have my coffee here and listen to you and grow some with everyone else. So good morning and welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I love your mission, love your heart. I'm excited because how awesome is it to be with like-minded people, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. So Shelley, I want to start with everyone where you and I started just 15 minutes ago. So just tell us about yourself. Just dive in. Why do you do the work you do? Why do you love it? Why are you here on Set to Love this morning?
Oh my goodness. I love that question because who gets asked that question very often, right? Like, why are you here? Well, so little backstory about myself. I am an artist who sort of accidentally became a nurse, which is kind of weird in and of itself. But I've just known from the time I was little that I was born to create. I'm a creator. I'm a visionary. It's just how I see the world. And then I got older, and then plans to, create your life, right? Start. And I was told, you can't be an artist. Artists aren't going to make any money. You have to get a real job, honey. Dreaming was fun when you were little, but now you must do what all of us do, right? And do the adult thing. And so I became a nurse accidentally because when I went to college, I took a science class because that was part of the prereqs, and I rocked anatomy. Like I just rocked it, right? Because anatomy is visual. Not because I'm a great scientist. So my guidance counselors just decided that, hey, have you ever thought about nursing? This might be a good fit for you because you did so well in anatomy, and a lot of other people really struggle with that. So long story short, I became a nurse, worked as a nurse for 18 years, did a lot of things, saw a lot of stuff, saw a lot of trauma, saw a lot of death, saw a lot of joy, but I kind of look at my 18-year nursing career as sort of my my inspiration for what I'm doing now, which is living more in flow and being the creator and artist that I was designed to be. And another little backstory I'll tell you is that when I was 13, I was enraged about an injustice that was happening. And I was complaining to my brother and telling him all the things that were not right in the world. And he, he said, "What are you going to do, Shelley? Open the Save the World Foundation?" And I said, "You never know. I just might." So I just like to think of this as my Save the World Foundation. Not that I can save the world, because nobody can save each other, but I think we can definitely tell our stories, which unlock other people's potential, which is what you're doing and what I love so much. And I do help people heal. I believe that when your head and your heart are out of alignment, your body tells on you. And so a lot of people do come to me because their body is out of alignment in some way. Their mental health, their physical health, their financial health, some expression is happening in their life, and they just know it's not right, and they want it to be different. And what I found is that getting the head and the heart in alignment, dealing with past trauma, understanding emotions, and understanding who you were designed to truly be, and going back to that, your true nature, your true way that you were created to be, back before the world told you you couldn't be who you were because of cultural norms. That is what actually brings healing. So head and heart in alignment helps your hands to create the work that you were designed to be.
Wow.
And when you finally got to be, who you are, Shelley, what did you notice changed in your life as far as, personally? How did you feel different by not following just what was supposed to be?
Mm-hmm. Everything changed. Everything. It's almost like the stars are aligning, the sun starts to shine again, the birds are singing, that kind of thing. Not that everything is magical, right? I jokingly call myself the unicorn nurse, because I like to turn people's dreams into reality. And I believe that it is possible to turn our dreams into reality. We can live a magical life, but we have to choose it with intention. And so I believe that when I rose and decided to be who I was designed to be, I found my flow, right? I found abundance. I found richer relationships. I found my tribe. I found the people where I belong, rather than always feeling. So as an artist, as a creative in a non-creative world. Now, remind you, I'm small town in Midwest America, in the 70s and 80s. Well, I guess 70s, 80s, and 90s. I graduated in 95. I was told, no, you can't. That's not how the world works, right? And I was, as an artist, as a creative, as somebody who doesn't accept reality the way we see it as real. I want to change reality. That's what I feel like I've always wanted to do. So I remember I had a learning disability, and I remember telling my teachers, I don't have a learning disability. I don't have a learning problem. You have a teaching problem. Right? I mean, I was just kind of that, I've really kind of always felt like, why do not other people see what I'm seeing? Why is the world the way that it is, right? And felt sort of like a unicorn in a horse world my whole life. But when I stepped into flow, I found my power. I found my courage to become who I already was, which was I call finding beautiful. Then I finally felt like I fit. Like I wasn't like a stranger in a foreign land. So
Can I ask you, Shelley, so you're a nurse, you're kind of getting towards the end of that 18 years. Are you still a nurse today? Do you still practice doing that?
I do not practice as a nurse. I am a
Okay.
full-time world changer.
Perfect. So what I want to ask you is, when you're on a path and like you've been 18 years, a long time to be doing something, especially something that the world told you like you'd be good at, and you were probably great at it. And now you're feeling in your late 30s, okay, something else. What was
how did you do that? How did you go from this to this and incorporate those things from your childhood back in?
Yeah, that's a great
How did you
question.
even know?
Yeah. Well, let's see. So I've always dabbled in creativity. I've always, you can't not be creative. So I would work and then I would do side things that were creative, right? So I did photography, I did wall murals, I always was trying to find a way to create, but it was like I had this life that I was incongruent with getting in the way, right? Of me living the life I really wanted to live. And so it was when I really got alone and got still and really began to pray and seek, you know, answers of like what is this life about? What am I here to do? Like what um how do I manifest this and how do I change, right? And how do I bring what I've been given to the world? Because I believe that our gifts are actually not for ourselves, they're for others.
Mm.
And although I did bring my gifts into the nursing world and with my patients, I was never, I felt hindered in that role, really. I felt confined. And so I was honestly was given kind of a vision of what life coaching is before I knew what life coaching was. And I was given this vision of wholeness and of uh, restoring people back to their original beauty. And once I had the vision, see, this is how an artist thinks, right? We've got to have the vision first. And then we're like, okay, now I'll work backwards and I'll find the baby steps. Like, I'll sketch it out, and then I'll try, you know, I'll start the process of creation. So that's how I started to do it. I did end up going to school to become a certified nurse coach because I really didn't have a framework for what this was that I was envisioning. I just knew that I saw it in my head. And I believe if you can see it behind your eyes, you can hold it in your hands. And so I just started taking one step closer and closer
Love it.
where the vision was. And here I am. So it wasn't easy. I mean, it was a process of about 6 or 7 years. So what kind of catapulted me into realizing time is of the essence, your gifts are not your own. You need to get busy doing your work because I believe there's work that we get paid for. That's a job, and then there's our work, which is our purpose. And I felt this pressure to get busy doing my work rather than just collecting a paycheck, playing it safe and doing what everybody told me to do. I went to school to become a certified nurse coach, and then I realized that's not that's not what I wanted. Like it's kind of some things that I want to do, but again, it was just training ground. And
Yeah.
so I've taken this nurse coach and I've taken my nursing background and inspiration. I've taken my life experiences, I've taken my artistry, and I've sort of meshed it all together into what is finding beautiful. I believe wholeheartedly in transforming our trauma. And what happened to me was my head and my heart were in a disagreement as a nurse and living this lie that my life was not congruent with who I was. And so my body told on me. My head and heart were out of alignment and my body told on me, and I actually got sick. I got to spend a year unable to work, going from doctor to doctor trying to figure out what was wrong with me. I had a lot of manifestations in my body, and so I'm very big into mind body medicine and just how the body is a manifestation of our subconscious. And I had some experiences that I really had to deal with, and honestly I feel like it was a conglomeration of the traumas, and then of being sick and then being in timeout from life for a year is when I got the vision. So sometimes we have to be kind of laid out to get us to wake up.
I like that you said, I got to.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at it in a negative way, you looked at all this trauma and this year off. You basically looked at that as a blessing because it gave you, that's why synchronicities and different things happen in your life really for a reason. And it's not always easy to get there, but how you're looking at it right now is that those were all blessings that brought you to where you are today. And had it not happened, had you not been through all of these things, you wouldn't be the woman that you are to give what you give to the world now. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, I have an incredible compassion for people just because of things that I've seen, things that I've been through, the traumas that I've experienced. I mean, I don't think there's anything anybody couldn't tell me that I would be surprised by and not have like incredible love and compassion for them, because I believe that everybody wants to live a life of purpose in love. We just don't know how.
So true, Shelley. You're so amazing. Before we go, I really want you to touch on something that you mentioned. You said you had an acronym for HEAL, but I also really want you just to dive in for a minute or two on your parenting and the process that you went through with your kids, because I feel like that's so important. Whether our listeners have young kids out there or they want to have kids one day, but some of the stuff you shared around that was super inspiring also. So those two things, and I would love that. Thank you.
Yes, oh my goodness. So I got this incredible gift that my dad gave me. My dad developed cancer. This doesn't seem like it's related, but it is. My dad developed cancer when I was in my 20s, and terminal cancer, and he ended up committing suicide. And I got this incredible realization in my 20s that life is not what we think it is, that life is so short and we have to live backwards, right? So I'm writing a book right now called Backwards is Beautiful. And I just, my dad, losing my dad in that way and being shocked, I got to really be introduced to this concept. And so what I have done was I've taught my kids backwards. So I looked at them in kindergarten and thought, okay, at the end of this process, what do I want them to walk away with? I found out that both of my kids were dyslexic, pulled them out of school, and ended up homeschooling them. So I've homeschooled all the way through high school. And being dyslexic, dyslexic is a way of seeing differently, um, seeing backwards, right? I mean, how cool is that?
Right.
And I actually believe that backwards is beautiful. And so if we can go to the end of our parenting years, um, our kids don't our kids are not ours, right? They come through us, not to us. And so I wanted my kids to leave with this undeniable passion and purpose with their lives, having the complete freedom to do and be who they were. And so, because of that, we actually ended up taking kind of an unschooling approach where we just followed passions. We followed, we did some basic things that every human needs to know how to do, but I don't believe that every human needs to do chemistry or know how to balance algebraic equations. I mean, I believe that if we know how to be, I wanted my kids to know how to be in the world, not what to do in the world. It's a way of
I
being.
love you. I
Yes.
really hope people hear that. So important. Okay, keep talking.
Yep. Yeah. So I just taught them that way. And the other thing too with the dyslexia was I was really not willing to put them into these environments where they were told that they had a weakness, because I actually believe that it's a gift. I believe that a lot of times learning disabilities, we call them disabilities, but they're actually gifts to the world. It's their genius. It's just because it's different, right? It's if we're all a herd of horses, we don't like unicorns because they're different, and we want to put them in a box and have them take standardized tests and measure them, right? And make them just like us. And by nature, a lot of teachers tend, and a lot of people that work in the school system tend to be rule followers. They tend to be box checkers. They tend to be very structured, and they see things very black and white. And that's okay because we need that. But that doesn't serve the creative child that sees backwards. I did not want them in that environment where they believed that they were broken, that they believed that there was something wrong with them, because there's nothing wrong with them. They came to this earth with exactly what they need to fulfill their purpose.
Wow. I love you. Okay, your acronym for HEAL. Give us that.
Yes. So I believe that healing stands for helping everyone align with love. That is, love is the greatest transformational tool. We're all looking for transformation. And when we are in perfect love, there's no fear there. We are completely free to be who we are.
I'm so excited we got to meet you.
Me too. Isn't it so validating when you hear people who think like you? You're like, am I the only one out there who thinks this way? And I'm listening to you going, I say that stuff all the time. It's so beautiful.
You're not alone. If you're listening out there, you're not alone. There's a whole herd of unicorns that are ready to run with you. I mean, I think that's my message. Is like, I'm just like, I want to collect all the unicorns in the world and just love them into their wholeness and just tell them, you are not broken. You are beautiful.
So Shelley, if we were somebody that really loved the things that you had to say today, how could we find you? Can you let our viewers know how to find you?
Yes. So follow me on Facebook. You can find me at shelley.henk.7. And it says Finding Beautiful right at the top. It has some beautiful rocks, so you'll know visually, because I'm a visual person. You tell me words, I might forget them, but yeah, stones. There's stones. It's pretty. You'll love it there. Come visit me.
Yay. Shelley, thank you so much for coming on our show and for sharing your wisdom, your heart, your knowledge, your experiences with our listeners. It was a pleasure, truly a pleasure meeting you. Yeah. I hope we stay connected. I would love to have you back on when your book is ready, or getting there, even like getting people excited about it. That sounds amazing. Yeah. And there were so many stories yet you still didn't even share. So there's so much more for people to learn from you. Thank you so much for being on our show today. And let me just put up our little final screen here. I want to thank our viewers for being here today. Set to Love. If you have questions around living a life in flow or staying set to love, or if you want to reach out to Shelley and don't know how to find her and you're listening to this down the road, email us, settolovepodcast@gmail.com. Subscribe, share this information. Someone out there needs to hear what Shelley shared today. Thanks, everyone, so much. Shelley, my best friend, I love you. Shelley, my new friend, I love you. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate you guys so much. Have a great day, everyone.